Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Carson and today I am doing a video on what it's like being a delivery driver for the app Doordash. Now I've been a delivery driver for Doordash for over a year and a half now, so I feel like I've got everything down to what orders to accept, what orders to decline, gas prices for when you're driving, tips, ratings, and just other general tips and tricks for any new drivers. Now I'm making this video for anyone who is thinking about being a delivery driver for this app, not just only DoorDash, but maybe like Uber Eats, maybe Grubhub, maybe you're thinking of any of those apps, who are looking to make the most out of their time and also make the most money while dashing. So the first thing, the necessities. What you're going to need first is that you're going to need to download the Dasher app. It's going to look like this, and it's available on the App Store or Google Play Store. And what you're going to do then is when you download the app, you're going to have to create an account. This can just be with your normal email address and password. Then when you set up an account, the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need to order your bag. This bag, here, I'll make it more visible. This bag right here is what you're going to put all your food in. It's going to keep it warm. There are options that you can buy bags that keep frozen food cool while you're driving, because your deliveries depend really on how long they are, how far you're driving. So if you're driving a long time to drop off an order, this is what you're going to need in order to keep that food nice and warm, especially during the summer months where you don't want to have your heat on, because those are other options too. A thing that I do in order to keep some of my food cold, since it's summer, I have my AC blasting, so that helps keep like stuff like smoothies, ice cream, maybe a shake. It helps them keep a little cool, because it really depends on how long I'm driving that I don't want it to melt, because customers will leave a bad review if it is melted when you drop it off. Now the next thing you're going to need, depending on where you live, is you're going to need a mask. I bought this a couple months ago when Idaho was still serious about the mask mandate, but I haven't worn it in a long time. But depending on where you live and what your mask mandate is, it is very important to get one of these. Just in case you walk into a restaurant and they ask you to wear a mask, you have one ready available. It doesn't have to be this one, it can be whatever one you want, but these ones are actually pretty comfortable. They don't like crush your nose, and I don't know, I have a fat face, so it just really fits me pretty well. So once you guys have all those down, you got the bag, you got the app, you got an account ready, you're ready to start dashing. Now the next thing I'm going to go to is very important. It's going to be orders. Mainly the orders that you receive and what you accept and what you decline. Now I'm gonna first go into orders that you decline. Okay, so first of all, I don't have a screenshot of it, but any order that says $3, $3.25, $3.75, do not accept it. No matter how short the distance is, just do not accept it, because the customer is not tipping. Whenever you see a total that low, that means Dashers have declined it, and it just raises an extra 25 cents. So you could get an order for $3, you decline it, it goes to the next Dasher, and then that order becomes $3.50 or $3.25. So do not accept those, because the customer will not tip you, and it's a waste of your time. So for example, I got an order from Wingstop right there. It was 9.7 miles total of how far I'd be driving, and I was only getting paid $6.50. $6.50. Now, the reason that you guys need to decline that one is because you are not making at least $1 or $1.50 per mile. And don't forget, since you're working for DoorDash, you're an independent contractor, and whether this is your primary job or secondary job, you're gonna have to file taxes, and you need to be sure that you're making at least $1 per mile. That way you're making the most out of your money and you're making the most out of your time, because we also have to think about gas prices, especially now because gas prices are through the roof. So you need to make sure that you're making at least $1 or $1.50. If you can, at least $2 maybe, if you're lucky, per mile. That way you're making the most out of your money and the most out of your mileage. Hey guys, it's me from the future, and I just wanted to let you guys know that what I forgot to tell you guys in the video, that since you are going to be working for DoorDash, you are going to be an independent contractor, and therefore DoorDash does not automatically take out taxes when they pay you weekly. So what you're gonna have to do is that you're gonna have to track your mileage, and the app that I recommend using this, and no, this is not sponsored, is Hurdler. That's spelled Hurdrl. And you can get it on the App Store, you can get it on the Google Play Store, and basically it just helps you track your mileage. And what you have to do is just mark it as either business or personal, and then that can save you a whole lot of money when you're filing for taxes. I just wanted to tell you guys about this app because I use it for myself and it works pretty great. So go ahead and download it today and start saving some more money, and I'll let you guys get back to the video now. So we've talked about what orders to accept, what orders to decline. Now I'm gonna go into some tips and tricks to help you guys be more efficient when you're delivering food. So my first tip is when you arrive at the restaurant, when you accept an order and when you arrive at the restaurant, it might say at the top right there that the order will be ready at a certain time. Let's say, for example, you arrive at, let's say, McDonald's, and the app says the order will not be ready until 12:22. You arrive and it's 12:15. Do not wait until 12:22 to go pick it up. Just go in there when you arrive. That way, if they get done with it early, you can just pick it up and go. That way you're not wasting any time and you're getting it to the customer as fast as you can. Another tip for you guys is when you sign up for an account and you start dashing, you start earning money, is when you go to your earnings section on the app, sign up for fast pay. This has saved me so many times when I'm in like the middle of the week and I need some money in my account. I can just simply press fast pay and it goes directly to my account, into my card. It goes into my account seconds after I press transfer and the funds are right there in my card for me to use. Another important tip for you guys is when you're picking up multiple orders, be sure to label which orders are different. I can't tell you how many times that I have not separated the orders I have picked up and I have messed up. I had to go back and fix it, and it's a complete waste of time, guys, and I don't want you guys to have to waste any more of your time to go switch orders because either the restaurant made a mistake or you made a mistake on which orders belonged to which customer. Good way to do this is how I do it is if a order has a drink, I usually put it in my bag, just because in my mindset I just feel like, oh, it's the order with the drink, it must get the more premium treatment or something. You guys might have a different system, but that's how I do it, and also how I lay it out, like on my seat or the floor. I either have the first order on my seat, second order on the floor, whichever comes first, and I just have the cups in order from first to second in my cup holders. It's a weird system, but it works for me. You guys can have your own system. Just make sure that you know which order is going to which customer. That way you don't have to waste time to go change it. One final tip I'm going to give you guys that it will just really help you guys make the most money and make the most out of your time when you're dashing is always check the app for peak pay. The app usually gets busy, or the Doordash usually gets busy around mostly the morning and dinner. There is a short, like maybe hour and a half lunch rush, but the most I've ever dashed for lunchtime is maybe 2 hours. So the best time to start dashing is early in the morning and late at night as well. Now for my area, it's going to be different for you guys, but usually in my area when it's busy, the peak pay which peak pay is what you get paid on top of base pay and tips. That's just what you make total of each order. So it varies between maybe $1 to $3 in my area. It might be different for you guys. I've seen some areas that go even to $5. I haven't seen anyone that goes to $6 yet, but like I said, it's all gonna depend on where you guys live and what your area looks like. Usually big cities make the most, have the most peak pays because they have the most area, they have the most people, and everybody's at work, so they need to order food. So the next thing I'm going to go into is ratings. These are very important to keep track of, to make sure to track how you are doing, how the customers are feeling about your service, and just to generally see what you can do better when you're dashing. Now with Doordash, how ratings work is that every new rating that you get replaces your old one. And it's on a scale of if a customer gives you a 5 stars, then your overall average score will be a 5.0. It's the top score that you can get. However, if a customer gives you like maybe a 3 stars, that rating can go down to maybe like a 4.5, 4.2, because the old ratings are replaced by the new ratings and they aren't tallied up together. All the new ratings replace the old ones, and that is how your average score is calculated. So in order to stay a dasher and to keep delivering food, you need to have at least a rating of 4.2. Now I have gone below to like a 4.3 because like I said, I didn't always check to see which order was for which customer, and that was like when I started dashing. So I always had to waste time to go back and change it, and that made the customer angry, and therefore it left me a bad review. So you need at least a 4.2 in order to stay on as a dasher, and if you're looking to be a top dasher, then you need to be at least a 4.7. Now, a top dasher means that you are just basically always door dashing. You do the most deliveries, and you might also get the most opportunity to make the most money off the app. So like I said, guys, it is always important to check your ratings and make sure you are on top of them and make sure that the customers are liking your service. It's going to show, I'm going to leave a screenshot right here, that's going to show your total ratings from 5 stars to 1 stars. As you guys can see, I have received 2 4 stars and 2 1 stars. I'm not proud of that, but it's whatever. And I wasn't especially happy because a couple days ago I was at a 4.79 and then all of a sudden it changed back to a 4.70, and it took me a very long time to get up to there, but customer service didn't really do anything about it. That is another thing. The DoorDash customer service, oh my gosh, it is probably the most tedious customer service I have ever had with any company. If you call them, they're just going to be talking like robots, I swear. It's like the most thing that you will hear from them is like, okay, we understand this issue is very important to you. Let me do my best to resolve it. And you think, great, yeah, sweet, solve it for me. Well, let me give you guys a real life example. When I called them about my ratings that went down to from a 4.79 to a 4.70, they said that they were gonna make a document of it and everything was gonna be fixed. And here we are almost a week later and nothing has changed. I tried calling them again, but nothing could be done. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you guys are wanting to be a dasher and you guys run into any problems, just don't expect customer service to do that much for you because they really aren't that much help. Now, with that being said, their customer service isn't the worst. They have helped me on some situations, but in all reality, they really aren't the best, and I wouldn't count on them too much to solve all your issues. Now, like I said before, guys, gas prices are very high right now. And when you are dashing, you are going to be using a lot of gas. I drive a 2008 Jeep Compass, and it gets maybe 19 miles to the gallon, and that's pretty average. But like I said, gas prices are expensive, and with how much I drive around and earn money from DoorDash, it doesn't really help all that much. In order to fill up my tank right now, I'm spending around $32, and that's basically 2 hours worth of work for me some days. And basically some days you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, and it's not always going to help. So the important thing to do is that you always want to make sure that you are only working when it is very busy, when you're getting peak pay, because if you're working when it's just kind of slow, then you're just wasting gas and it's just not going to help you. Another thing you can do is that if you're waiting for an order, you can always go park in a parking lot or wherever, turn off your car, roll down some windows if it's hot, or if it's cold, then just, I don't know, bundle up. But you guys can turn off your car and just wait for a new order to come. You don't need your car on to wait for that, and that can also save you gas. That's what I've been doing. But like I said, always just be sure to be dashing when it's very busy, and if there's a peak pay, great, take that too, because then you'll be wasting less time and you'll be using your fuel more efficiently, and you'll be making the most money because you're working during those busy times. And with that money, it'll be easier to pay for gas and whatever else expenses that you guys have. Now, going to the conclusion of my final thoughts of if DoorDash is even worth it, if you guys should sign up for it, or if it's even right for you guys, my final thoughts would be that DoorDash is a great app to get started on for delivering food. I haven't tried Uber Eats or Grubhub yet, but I have watched a couple of videos on it. I've read a couple reviews on it, and places like Grubhub and Uber Eats, they do close at a certain time in certain areas, so you can't be going all night like DoorDash. So that's one of the great things about DoorDash is that you can do whenever you want if it's busy. If it's not, then they'll ask you to schedule at a certain time. But you can do it at like 1 a.m. if you wanted to. I've done shifts where I've been doing it from 11 p.m. to maybe 3:30 in the morning, and I've made some pretty good money off of it. So that's one of the good things about DoorDash is that they get busy at such random times, and it's really up to you when you dash and when you stop. Also, it helps if you're a student too, because I'm a student, I get to have my own hours, I'm my own manager, so I can start and stop whenever I want. If I'm busy with homework and I need a break, I can just simply go out door dashing for maybe a couple hours, an hour or two, and then I can just press stop and go back to what I was doing. So it's pretty great if you guys are looking for your own schedule, to be your own manager, because I get it, having a manager kind of sucks. With that being said, DoorDash is really not meant to be your primary job. The money is not guaranteed, is never guaranteed. You'll always have good days and you'll always have bad days on this app. And like I also said, it really depends on what area you are living in, because some areas do have constant busy times, but in my area, in Idaho, there's just time intervals where you need to get on it, where you're either on it for maybe like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and you make like, let's say $32. But like I said, guys, it really does depend on where you guys live and how DoorDash works with that, of how busy you guys are at certain times, what the peak pay is. Like I said, it really depends on where you are. So conclusion, guys, DoorDash is a great first starter. You do need to be 18 to DoorDash, so it's not like a starter job where 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds can work. You do need to be 18. So it's a good secondary job. It's good if you just need money on the side, and it's good just if you need just basic expenses paid off. So final thoughts. I think DoorDash is a pretty good delivery service. You can start and stop whenever you want. You're gonna get some peak pays. You might get some good tips. I've gotten some really good tips where people have bargained with me saying, hey, if you deliver my food first, I'll give you an extra tip. And that actually happened last night. I got an extra $10 tip, so thank you to that lady who gave me an extra $10 tip. It really helped. But if you guys are just looking for a secondary job or just trying to get money on the side, then DoorDash is a great place to get started. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a like if you guys like this video, and comment down below if you guys have any more tips and tricks, if you guys are a Dasher, if you guys deliver with any other service. And I love you guys so much. Thanks you guys for watching. Bye, guys.